Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you're at in this crypto world. My name is Cody, and have I got another L1X exclusive interview for you today with our friends at Biscuit. Today, I am joined by Crypto Psycho. How are you, my friend? Long time no talk to. Hope you're doing well.
Yeah, yeah, I'm doing amazing. Thanks. Good to be here, and yeah, it's good to be representing Biscuit the Cat. That this is a exciting time for us and L1X. Hopefully, bring a lot of volume into the space.
Yeah, I think it's a great milestone for a lot of L1Xers, especially the OG people, primarily because it's the very first ever in existence multi-chain meme coin. So why don't you just go ahead and tell us a little bit about the origin story? I think it came to fruition about what, a year ago when we ran the NFT contest. Is that what it, if I remember
Yeah,
correct?
yeah, that's pretty much where it started. Like we started like thinking, well, it was about yeah, April, May, like last year. So that's when that all happened, and wasn't sure what meme coin I was going to do. Then I thought, right, I'm going to go down the route of just having a chat with Kevin. And I remember giving Kevin a call and say, Kevin, you don't happen to have any pets at all, do you? And he said, yeah. He said, I've got a cat. I said, what's it called? He said, it's called Biscuit. And I thought, right, okay, this is too juicy. I said, right, Kevin, I'm going to do a meme coin of your cat, Biscuit the cat. And he just started laughing. And he said, well, if you do a meme coin of Biscuit, I'll definitely buy it. And then I'm like, oh, this is like a match made in heaven. So at that point, I started speaking to a mate of mine who's a graphic designer. And I said, listen, I've got a meme coin that I'm going to do on Layer 1X, and I just want you to be part of it. And he designed it. So I actually got a photo of the cat of Biscuit from Kevin, sent it to him, and then he designed the art around the cat exactly how it is. So that's kind of where it all started. So the fact that, as you've already mentioned, the first multi-chain meme coin on like Layer 1X, where you can literally buy it with any of these different assets that you've got, and it's the founder's cat as well. I think it's just a recipe for success. And like, as you mentioned, it's kind of, when you've been part of L1X for so long, you've got all these OGs that got in so early, and now this Quantum DEX is live, and all these projects can launch. And this is the first meme. Like, obviously, memes don't have much in the way of utility. The community is the utility, but everyone gets behind the meme. Like so many people,
For
like
sure.
they might not talk about memes, but a lot of people have got memes in the wallet. They might be like a little guilty pleasure that they've got, or they might be very vocal about it. But meme coins bring volume to chains, and then once the volume's on that chain, then that money is then distributed across other projects, and just through coming into Biscuit, that can then have a knock-on effect where people start buying into like AST, GDAO, Star Token, and all the other tokens that start launching on the Quantum DEX as well. So I think it's good for the entire ecosystem.
Oh, for sure, for sure. And it definitely kicked off the Quantum DEX, like you said. I believe it was the first one. I think you even beat the GDAO token on, if I remember correct. Is that right?
Yeah, well, I think it were. I mean, I'll take that, but yeah, I think it was 50-50. I think we both launched at the same time, but yeah, if you want to go with the first, yeah, we'll go with that.
Ah, that's awesome. Yes, for sure, for sure. So, you guys started going through, launched, and you kind of had a little bit of a hiccup with some of those early launched projects, but you guys have just recently relaunched. Why don't you tell us a little bit about what that relaunch means?
Yeah, so when we originally launched, like there was an issue with like the Uniswap V3 pool, and it was just something to do with the range where the supply kind of went way too fast, and it basically meant there was hardly any supply left, and the only way around it was like kind of do what we're doing. So we'll get everybody to sell the tokens, and then do a relaunch. The range is now fixed as like all the other projects that have already launched since. Everything's fine now. So we're just going to relaunch, and then everybody gets a fair crack at the whip again. So anyone that missed out, that come in late, or the supply had gone and they got a small amount of tokens, everyone's solar tokens. Anyone that lost out has been compensated, so everyone's got the same amount of wrapped L1X that they purchased with. And now moving forward, that relaunch is going to allow every single person to buy in at the same time. Everyone's got wrapped L1X. There's no advantage. Like even myself, like when that liquidity is added, Biscuit goes live, and not one person has got any advantage over another person. So you could basically get in before me and anybody else as well. So it's a complete fresh start. And once we go, that's it. And then the marketing spaces, it's just gonna go off. We're gonna start pushing it, and this is what's so exciting is like typically meme coins they're chain specific. So you might get like say you look at like Pepe, you look at Shiba Inu, like in the very early days there was limited to the chain that there was that they actually launched on. And it took time to like get mass adoption because mass adoption only normally comes when you can buy it on any chain. And typically that's like either diluting supply, like the liquidity, or wait until you get on a centralized exchange where then anybody can buy it. So the fact that like we're multi-chain from the get-go, it's gonna be really exciting because it doesn't matter what chain you're on. Anyone can just come in, go to the Quantum DEX and just buy. So yeah, it's really exciting.
Yeah, it's interesting that you bring up the meme coins like Pepe and Shiv and all those guys being chain agnostic on those specific ones. If I remember right, Pepe didn't originally launch on the chain that it did. It tried a couple of different chains before it found the home where it did on Solana, uh, if I remember correctly. So being right out of the gate, it'll be interesting to see how these moving forward multi-chain meme coins will work if they have to relaunch multiple times or if they'll be able to tap into kind of that moon element right out of the gate, right? And have those characteristics if they can just go since they're multi-chain. So yeah, it'll be very interesting to see how that will work, especially where you can come in off of any chain and pretty much use any token to basically buy these meme tokens. So uh that will definitely be exciting. So kind of moving back into this, we talked about the origin story. We talked about, there isn't really in any big utility, but I think you hit it on the nose when you specifically said that it is all about, the culture, the community that rallies behind it, right? And I think that definitely L1X OGs get the meme of this, and I think that there's going to be lots of supporters there. I know that you guys have had lots of supporters over the last year since we did that competition. I know that my grandma token didn't do very well, but it was good to see that you guys were definitely up there as well. But why don't you? I know it's you, and there are a few others that I'm aware of that are part of this group. Do you mind just telling us a little bit about the team and who's behind it?
Yeah, yeah. So there's a few people from the community. Like, anyone that's like in the L1X OG community, there's a few people in there what you're going to recognize. So you've got Garrett, you've also got Kimist, and these two I've known, like all the team I've known like from like 3 4 years ago, and like meeting all these people like over the time I've been in crypto, like you'll probably know as well as everyone listening, like 99% of people that you meet aren't who you think they are. They're not genuine, they're not sincere, they're not honest, and it takes spending a lot of time in this space to weed out all the negativity and all the people that aren't there for good. And eventually you kind of find a small amount of people that you can really trust and you've got things in common with, and they've got skill sets that you could potentially bring into something like Biscuit, which I mean I never thought of actually launching a meme coin. It was only like from joining the L1X community and then making relationships with everybody here that kind of got me to that point. And then I was looking at the people around me that I know that have like worked in other projects, that have like done amazing things in other projects. So one of the guys I'm not going to mention by name, but he's been really successful with a lot of really big meme coins, and that's in related to like marketing and also graphic design. So he's behind the artwork. So he basically got the image off Kevin's cat, the photo, and he turned that into the character that we all know today as Biscuit. He's created the website, and he's also going to be responsible for marketing. So he wears many hats. And then we've got Jimmy, we've got Kimist, as I've mentioned, and Garrett, and they're all basically really good at like engagement in Discord, in Telegram, like on X, like keeping activity and engagement going, keeping the community going. And I'm basically like an all-rounder, so I'll do exactly the same as everybody else. And I think
Yeah.
anyone that's in this space, there's not one person ever just wears one hat. It's like everyone does a bit of everything, and I think it's kind of, I don't want to say fake it till you make it, but I think a lot of people that come into this space literally just learn as they go in. They just join the ground running and pick things up, and it's just through time in the space. It's through experience, and you learn how to do stuff as you go along. And I think that's probably like accurate to like 99% of people that work in Web3. It's just through coming in as an investor and then learning the ropes as you go. And you pick up things. You learn how to like really navigate through Telegram, through Discord. You learn like what kind of content you want to be posting on socials. Like you might even get into like dev work, and you might have had like the uh, our marketer, web designer, like that's his real life occupation, and he's just brought that into Web3, so it can work both ways as well. But we've got an amazing team. But the main thing is about the team, which I think a lot of people maybe underestimate, is that loyalty, that trust factor, that everybody being like on the same page, where you've
Mhm.
got that same moral compass, because it's hard to find. Like finding genuine people around you that you can completely rely on and trust. I've been in so many projects where team members have just dumped on the project, or they've completely given up. And initially, the people that brought them into the team, they thought, oh, these guys are good, they're solid, they've got good intentions. But that fails so many times. So the team that we've got, 100% got conviction and 100% got the same mindset as myself.
Gotcha. No, that makes total sense. So what you mentioned that you've been in a lot of other projects, meme projects and things like that. So what's going to make Biscuit different than all the other ones? What's going to set it apart? Is it its tokenomics? Is it its artwork? Is it its multi-chain element? You tell me,
Yeah, I
my
mean,
friend.
yeah, I think it's a combination of everything. I mean, most meme coins that launch now, they use like your pump fund kind of model with bonding curves. So pretty much 100% of like liquidity goes into the token from the get-go. But the problem with that is like, unless like you're fortunate enough to have bought a massive amount of the supply, like where'd you get funds from for like marketing? Where'd you get like funds from to like pay your team? You need like a big pot of money, and that isn't always the case. You don't always have that. So this 100% DeFi loan was fantastic. That basically give us the liquidity. And then with the tokenomic side of things, we put aside like 20%, which is going to cover like marketing, it's going to cover future sex listings, and that's going to cover like team as well. So like obviously we've got the value of the team members that have come in, but we don't just want to just say, okay, well, you buy in and then you've got to just work for Biscuit and make it successful just with the tokens that you've bought. Now you've got to kind of pay them for like what it is that they're doing. So they're getting a supply of the token. There's some that's going to be kept to one side for possible future people that we bring on board as well. So that's the tokenomic side of things. And I think I think what makes the cat difference is what you've mentioned. The fact that it's multi-chain from the get-go, the fact that it's the founder's cat. And I'm looking at it like, well, no, we've got a big challenge, because most meme coins, when they launch, I mean, I don't want to like disregard a lot of the chains, but you're looking at like Solana, BNB, Ethereum. Probably more recently, you got Base and Sui. But when they launch on these chains, they've either got massive, massive competition because they're on Solana, they're on Ethereum, and they just get like kind of hidden away with all the other memes that launch. Or they launch on Sui and Base, and maybe they make a big impact, but there's very little volume on them chains. So with L1X, it's like the challenge comes is how do you market it? Because most marketers in the space, they've got relationships and contacts with people that are chain specific as well. So it's not just like your projects that are chain specific.
Hmm.
Influencers are often chain specific as well. So
Right.
they might have a massive reach just with the Solana community, but nowhere else. So we've got a pretty it's a pretty it's a good challenge to have, but it's a really big challenge because we've got to figure out how we can bring in all these audiences that are used to buying on Sol or ETH or BNB or Sui or whatever chain it's on and say, right, okay, well, you don't need to just be specific to them chains. You can now look at Biscuit, and I think there's going to be like a ha-ha moment where it's like, wow, like we can buy into this chain and this we can buy into Biscuit, and Biscuit is not chain specific. We can get in early because if you think about like how many people you're going to be front running by finding out about Biscuit or any other like project on Quantum DEX, you've got the ability to come in and be one of the first community members of that project because of the way that anybody can come in and just connect the wallet, whether it be like a MetaMask wallet or like a Phantom wallet, don't matter what you've got, and you can just swap it straight into Biscuit. I just think that's going to be like I said, one of the biggest features, and typically that doesn't exist until a project gets on a centralized exchange. But as anybody knows, once a project gets on a SEX, like you've kind of missed the boat. You're not going to get exponential growth through buying into something once it's gone onto Coinbase or I don't
Yep.
know, like even your smaller centralized exchanges. It doesn't matter. Like typically, by the time it gets onto one of them, you've missed the point where you can make ridiculous returns on a small investment.
Right.
So that's where we see it.
Right. That makes sense. So if I'm not into meme tokens or anything like that per se, just buying them off of just the meme value itself. What is the major hook here? Like, what do you guys have any type of thing built into your tokenomics, such as like burns, uh, anything unique that kind of sets it apart?
Yeah, I mean well, one thing that we're planning for the future, which isn't something we're going to do just yet, but once we start getting volume, once we start getting people coming in and like there's a big community, there's a culture growing around the cat, and like we've got a lot of holders. Something that we're looking at doing is dropping an NFT collection, but the NFT collection isn't going to be a typical NFT collection where it's got no value behind it. Like most collections, they just, with one of a better word, they're like a money grab. They're just
Yeah.
basically selling an NFT, and what does it do? I mean, it's a PFP, but nothing much more than that. Now, for us, like having the NFT is fantastic as a marketing strategy because as you grow, people can adopt your PFP. You jump into spaces, and you've seen it on a lot of the X-Talk spaces. You get certain communities where they blitz this space with just PFPs, and it's massive.
Hmm.
But we want to kind of give value back to the project and value to the holders. So when we do drop the NFT collection, and again, there's no date on this. It's all to do with like growth, all to do with like the culture, the holders that we build. But at a point where the time's right, we're going to drop the NFT collection, and the NFT collection, all the funds that are generated from that collection, they're gonna be split in between going back into the liquidity into the token, but also going into a validator, and that validator is then going to pay out. That could be monthly, bi-monthly, quarterly, and all the funds that go into the validator, the funds that are generated, are then going to get paid back to the holders of the NFTs.
Nice.
Something I've not seen done very often, but there's a few projects that I'm in that do exactly that, and the rewards can be ridiculous. Like the tokens that you get back, especially from the layer 1x validators, you can get really good gains back from them. So distributing that back to the token holders, it's only going to be a matter of time where the initial purchase is actually paid back. So the NFT will become free, and then they've got like basically like a passive income coming back in off the NFTs. So that's one strategy that we've got. But as far as like that hook initially, that the NFTs are going to come later, again, it all comes back to like the fact that it's this multi-chain meme, like the fact
Hmm.
that it's the founder's cat, it's got the support of the founder of Layer 1X. And I think what'll happen at the minute, that might not have an awful lot of weight behind it because we're so early. But as Layer 1X starts growing and as more projects start launching on the Quantum DEX, the TVL's got to grow, the community's got to grow, the overall awareness of Layer 1X is going to grow, and everything around it will start like basically having a knock-on effect, and things will start going like exponential really quickly. I mean, I think looking at the recent AMA, I think the amount of projects being launched up until Christmas, like Kevin was talking about having like hopefully like 25 million of TVL by the end of the year, and all the projects that are coming on board. But for me, it's not so much about like necessarily the TVL or the market caps or anything. It's the community, because when you grow a community, everything else follows. But you've got to do that before you do anything else. So
Yeah,
it's
for sure.
it's
Yeah, for sure.
yes.
No, I totally agree with you on that one. It's interesting that you mentioned, the L1X might not be have the same clout that it would on another chain, but as it grows in momentum, it is interesting because I'm telling my wife like all these cool conversations that I'm having. Like I'm actually really excited because these are the milestones that we've been wanting to hit for 2+ years, right? And we're starting to have a lot of these really in-depth conversations with L1s, DEXs, and sexes, and all these different things that are paramount to our longevity and to our success. And we are definitely getting closer and closer because eventually we'll hit that hockey stick of growth, right? And that's what we want. We don't want to have that hockey stick of growth right out of the gate and then lose it because, like other VCs, have stepped in and caused growth to cease as a result of early investment into it, right? And so we definitely want to see that hockey stick of growth, and I think we've done it right. I think once we do hit that, it's because we've done the grind. We've built a lot of loyal people around us as well. And it's, through projects like this that will allow us to basically be able to shine.
Yeah,
So,
well, we're learning from like what you guys are doing. I see how hard you work. Like the spaces that Layer 1X go into and the conversations that have had. I think you were talking about it on the last AMA. The figures, the stats that you put forward about the hours that you've put into creating all this content. But like a lot of people think, it's just like conversation that doesn't amass to anything. But you prove that it completely has a positive effect, because the amount of projects that are going to be coming in, the conversations, the relationships that you've made through constantly being in these spaces, it's growing the L1X community like at a ridiculous rate. And like you talk about that hockey stick, I think that's what the last 2 years has been. We've started at the top of that hockey stick and just going all the way down. And right now it's like we're just at that bottom of the hook. Quantum DEX is launched, and this is where these weekly projects that are coming on board, that's the
yeah.
exponential bit. And I think this next 6 months is going to be monumental. And you look at it as like it's as if it's, well, probably is. I say it's not by chance, but if you look at where it is like with the market as well, like you're looking at this like this bull cycle, and like where we are now on this hockey stick with the Quantum DEX, and then you look at the bull cycle as well, it's like it's perfectly aligned. And I
Yep.
think that's what makes it so exciting.
Yeah, exactly. And like you pointed out, the Quantum Dex has come out, and I will say this like time and time again, I've been saying it for years, is just like once we have our code completely open source, and the process to onboard is super simple. That will help drive a lot of the momentum for L1X. But having the Dex on there, having a couple of these key projects like the loan thing is going to be paramount. Like I've talked to so many different projects that have already launched, and as a result of them being able to come over and get a loan from L1X and go multi-chain at the same time, I mean, that's like huge for them. And so, yeah, I think we've got a lot of good components into place, and things like that, and it's only going to keep fueling us. But we're not here to talk about L1X. We're here about to talk about Biscuit for sure. But you can't help but not talk about L1X
They,
just because of,
yeah,
what it is.
well, they come hand in hand, don't they? Like the success of like L1X is going to bring growth to all the projects building on L1X, including Biscuit, and vice versa as well. Like it's not just up to L1X now to like bring in volume, bring in community. It's the responsibility of every project that launches. So the success of like Biscuit, Gdo, Star, and it was the other token that's currently launched as well. Oh,
Oh, the audit.
AST, yeah, AST.
Yep.
So like each like new community member they bring in, each like new holder, then that's benefiting L1X as well. So it's like full circle, isn't it? Everyone helps each other.
Yeah, yeah. And I think that that's been kind of one of the sales points for us when we've been talking with a lot of different projects is trying to create that like core uh kind of core ecosystem within L1X that just kind of fuels off of each other, right? Marketplace, DEX, Launchpad, gaming, all those different kind of things kind of roping into that element of it. I call it
Yeah,
circling the wagons because
yeah,
those are the ones that are going to basically future proof. And then what Kevin's building with the quantum resistance over the top is just going to be unreal. And so it's definitely opened up a lot of different conversations there for us for sure.
yeah.
But
And we're
kind of
getting we're
get
getting a lot. Sorry, I was gonna
oh
say we're
yeah,
getting a lot of support as well. Like so we've noticed people coming into our Telegram, like from the different projects too. So like all the different projects that are currently launched, they're everyone's cross-pollinating. So like
yeah.
we're obviously engaging with all other socials from the other projects, and they're coming into our Telegram, and they want to like kind of buy into the token as well because everyone wants a piece of everything, don't they? Like if you can be the first in anything, like you want to be the first. Like you want to get in early. You want to be the first one to get in early on all these different projects because they're all going to do amazing things as the community grows.
Yeah, yeah, for sure, for sure. So you mentioned L1X founder is backing, supporting you guys on this project as well with giving you his cat's likeness and name, as well as throwing a few bucks behind it to purchase some coins as well. Not
That's
financial
always nice.
advice, but definitely always nice to have that. Are there any other partnerships in the pipeline for you guys?
We've got what we want to do is like synergize with like other meme coins. So like this space is there's a lot of toxicity. There's a lot of like people want to keep like projects exclusive where you come in and you just talk about their project, or you have a space and you just talk about their project. But I think times are changing, and I think as far as like partnerships, collaborations go, we just want to get our name out there. So hit as many spaces as we can, create our own spaces, so our biscuit spaces, jump in L1X spaces, but jump in as many meme coin spaces as we can and just do what you've been doing, getting L1X's name out there and building these relationships because it's the relationships that build communities, that build growth, that build culture. So like as far as like collabs and partnerships go, it's more of just getting Biscuit into all these different spaces with all these different meme coins. Like sometimes you'll have these mega spaces, and a lot of the times they are chain specific, but sometimes you'll get in spaces what are just random meme coins from random chains. But I think it's just getting that awareness out there and just having conversations, being heard, because people then start checking out the PFP, and then they'll start finding out about like how you can buy it and like all the benefits that come with being this multi-chain meme coin. I think when people do actually start taking notice, that's when like growth is going to really start happening. So
Yep.
yeah, it's just a case of getting out there on spaces. I mean, when you're a meme coin, your utility is your community. So the main focus is grow your community. And X, the platform itself, there's nothing better like for exposure than just being on spaces on X and creating content like consistently and getting your community to engage with it as well. So it's getting shown in front of more people.
Well, and I think that another utility that you guys have is you could basically go and make any meme coin multi-chained just by pooling with them on their chain, right? So
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Create. I mean, to be honest, I know a few projects that have done that where they basically create pools with different projects, and like there's a few that I know that have got like 7 or 8 different pools with different projects. So you kind of bringing in the success of their project into yours and vice versa.
yeah, plus you add liquidity and it definitely helps with the stability of your price, everything like that. So, yeah, I'm kind of excited to see where you guys are definitely headed. We've talked about some of the things that you've got coming up as well. Is there any other type of alpha you want to drop about Biscuit?
I'd just say stay tuned. I mean, there's nothing specific like the NFTs. Again, that's something that we're going to be doing in the future. But yeah, just keep active, keep involved. A good mentor of mine, that's his kind of catchphrase. Get active, get involved, and it does pay. Like if you stay active in a community, anything that's going to happen, any alpha that's going to drop, you're the first to hear of it. So yeah, and I mean, Cody, like you've got good alpha. I think we could bring you in as an advisor. I think you'd be really beneficial to Biscuit.
Oh, geez, I don't know. But I will tell you this, that you guys are more than welcome on any X Talk space or any of the other spaces that I host throughout the week. I'm about up to 4 or 5 a day now. So definitely hit me up and I'll get you out there on some of these other spaces. Definitely line them up for you. How about that?
Yeah, yeah. And listen, for anyone that's listening, like people need to appreciate what Cordy does. Like
Oh, thanks.
if you've ever been in spaces, like if you could do 3 or 4 spaces every day, trust me, you would be exhausted. So the fact that Cordy is in a space and you know it because he'll be in an X Talk space, he'll be in an AMA, and he'll be like, right, guys, I've got to jump off. I've got another space I've got to jump into, and then you follow him, and he's in all these spaces. So. I think Cody's like I look at Cody as like lead by example because if we can replicate what you're doing for L1X for Biscuit, then Biscuit is going to have just as equally exponential growth in the space. So we're going to be any space that you're doing that we can jump in. We'll definitely do that because it's all about exposure.
Oh yeah, well, it's not necessarily just about exposure. It's more about I call it eat, right? You're building your expertise, your authority, and your trust and transparency within the Web3 community as a whole, right? You're adding your voice to the discussion, and that's really what gets people to follow you and really kind of buy into what it is that you're trying to do in a true, authentic manner that you normally don't get in other memes of not means of marketing, right? And so, you can throw out an ad, you can throw out a post marketing something, but especially with meme tokens, it's a huge thing for people. They have to feel that vibe. They have to feel that tribalism behind it. And a lot of times you just can't get that with just a single post or a promoted post, paid ad type of thing. People got to hear who's behind it, what you stand for, what you're doing, and it's that constant conversation. And it's almost like people in Web3 expect these projects to have a life and a personality and a voice of their own, right? And spaces, I'm a firm believer in spaces. So thank you for saying that. But yeah, it is all about the grind, just getting out there and just doing it. That's for
Yeah,
sure.
yeah, you said it perfectly, and that's exactly what it is. Like the fact that like you're in these spaces like day in day out, and people get to what I find is when you spend enough time in whether it be Telegram, Discord, or spaces where you're speaking to your community, they it doesn't take long to figure out the genuine people from the people that are just talking BS. And
Right.
you only get that through consistency. And I think because I've created like a lot of YouTube channel, a lot of content on YouTube, and because I've got like kind of an existing relationship with a lot of the L1X OG community, what I've kind of got built with the L1X communities, what I need to then expand upon within spaces, get them people to kind of get to know me and get to know the rest of the team on Biscuit, because that's where the confidence comes in to then invest and like get involved, and then they become an active member of the community as well. So yeah, yeah, what you said is bang on.
For sure. All you have to do, my friend, is throw the biscuit logo up in the sky, and I'll know that that's my call to come join you on an AMA. Happy to join the conversation, that's for sure. Uh,
Yeah.
and bring my many personalities to the to the conversation, that's for sure. But speaking of community, how can people get in contact with you, join your community? What channels?
Yes. Yeah. So like mainly we're using Telegram and X. Like we have got channels on different platforms like Instagram, TikTok. But like as far as engagement goes, like we kind of you want to speak to the community, you want to get to know what we're all about. Jump in our Telegram. I'll put a link in the well, if I send you a link to put in the bottom, you can do that. And then our website as well, which is biscuit.wtf. So jump on the website. All the links to everything we've got are in there. So Telegram, X, and yeah, just come join the conversation. Like in we've also got a community within X as well. So you've got like a little community section in there. Go join that. So join our X, join the community on X as well. But 100% come into our Telegram and like get a conversation going. I'm always dropping voice messages, video messages, and yeah, we're just growing. I mean, at the minute, this is how early you are. There's less than 100 people in the Telegram chat, so that's how early you are. So if you're going off social metrics, I look at social growth. I look at what the community is currently doing. Forget about the price. Just look at the community and how that's growing. And if you can get in early, I encourage you to do so. And yeah, come and say hello in our Telegram chat.
No, I love it. Love it. Um, One thing that I have learned about social media is that there is a unique um, cult-like culture for people with their pets. And if you ever want to do the very best post ever that goes viral, just take cats and dogs playing with yarn with the product in the background and it will go, it's guaranteed to go viral. And
Ah,
I've done it numerous times.
so food for thought. That's something we need to be posting out there.
Well, you know what you guys should be doing, and I'm not here to tell you what you should be doing, but I would be
Hey,
giving once you guys are live and you can start giving away some of your you know your biscuit tokens there from your marketing pool. I would start doing giveaways for people posting pictures of their cats on your threads. So
yeah.
that'll
Just get yeah, yeah. Do you know what? I completely get what you're saying because I watch on my feed like well sometimes I'll browse on a feed and I'll get shown like a cat or a dog and I watch one and then it shows another and it just repeats and repeats and repeats and I think it's
Mhm.
something that everyone just has this kind of underlying obsession with where that's why they go viral, isn't it? You see these videos and you can't help but watch them.
Yep. So there you go. There's your marketing right there.
Yeah, no,
Basically giving away some biscuits to get pictures of some kittens. So there
yeah.
you
The
go.
thing is, it's a fantastic name as well, and you like Biscuit the cat. Like Kevin named that perfectly, because everyone wants a biscuit as well. Like just keep collecting them crumbs, and then look what you're gonna get at the end.
Yep, exactly. No, that's way cool, way cool. Well, it was great sitting down with you. Definitely you guys have a fun future. It sounds like you got some good things in the work. You've dropped some good alpha. Definitely working on a good roadmap there. But yeah, it was great sitting down with you. We will have to do this again very soon. But anything else you want to lead out with before we sign off?
No, no, I just want to thanks everyone for tuning in and like anyone that's in the L1X community. Yeah, you like the fact that you're here, the fact that you're still supporting the chain and getting involved with all the projects is amazing. But I think there's going to be equally as many people that don't have a clue about what L1X is, and this is a way for you to kind of get involved with Biscuit. And like moving forward, this is going to be something really, really special. I sincerely believe that. Like the fact that you've got projects that are multi-chain from the get-go. I said not just Biscuit, all the other projects going to be launching on L1X. You can literally front run everybody just by being early and turning up. So yeah, welcome everyone to come and join our community and all the other communities and all the projects that are coming into L1X.
I love it. Love it. And thanks to everybody for tuning in. We appreciate it. We could never do these spaces, including these interviews, without your guys' love and support. Definitely show some love to the Biscuit team and the project by definitely sharing this space out so that we could beat the X algorithms and get it out to the masses because I mean, this is something as an L1X community we should be celebrating is the first ever multi-chain meme token. So with that being said, thanks Crypto Psycho for being with me today. Definitely again open invitation to join me on any of our X spaces, X Talk spaces, or any space that I host at that point. But to all you guys, have a good night, and we will catch you on the next exclusive interview we have. Have a good one,
Thanks,
everybody.
guys. Thanks, guys.